The brothers were indicted in a federal RICO case originating out of Georgia.
BMF was the first group that was accused of being both a criminal organization and
have somebody that's been shot and has been the victim of aggravated assault. I mean, he received a serious gunshot wound. That really appears.
February 13th, the Big Meech home benefit concert. It's gonna be iconic. Yeah. So look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film.
The problems between Lil Meech and the rapper 50 Cent have gotten much worse. This happened after news stories came out saying that 50 Cent was the one who stopped a big concert meant to honor Big Meech. Now, Lil Meech is very angry. People who know about the situation say the concert was supposed to be a major event. It was meant to celebrate the history of the BMF and get people excited for new projects coming out. But the reports say 50 Cent used his own power to stop the concert from happening. He supposedly had the official permits blocked and convinced the companies paying for the event to pull out. This caused the show to be canceled before it could even start. Lil Meech did not wait to respond. He immediately got into a loud and angry argument with 50 Cent. Lil Meech said that 50 was clearly trying to ruin his plans on purpose. People who saw the fight said Lil Meech accused 50 Cent of trying to destroy his father's memory. He also said 50 just wanted to take control of the BMF story so he could make money from it. During a private meeting that became tense, Lil Meech yelled, "You don't own this story. My family does." This argument has caused a huge discussion online. Fans are divided into two groups. Some people support 50 Cent's right to make smart business choices. Other people are on Lil Meech's side, saying he has every reason to be upset and that he should be allowed to honor his father's name.
Believe a stand-up dude doing his time would suddenly say, "I don't want to be here no more. I'm gonna become a rat bastard."
This big fight is the most serious problem, yet in the already difficult relationship between Lil Meech and 50 Cent, feelings are very strong right now, and the result of this argument could completely break their powerful partnership forever. The whole situation with Lil Meech, 50 Cent, and his father Big Meech is turning into one of the biggest arguments the music industry has seen in a very long time. The bad feelings between them have been building up for months, but now everything is happening out in the open for everyone to see. It all got worse when 50 Cent recently started talking about old stories. He claimed that Big Meech had worked with the police and government investigators. This brought back old discussions about who was loyal and who was not, and about how people will be remembered. The problem grew even bigger when a major concert was suddenly called off. This concert, called the Welcome Back Legacy event, was meant to celebrate Big Meech coming home. Its cancellation surprised and upset many people in the music business and in their local communities. Because of all this, Lil Meech felt he had to get involved. He is committed to protecting his father's name and his father's story from being damaged. For people who don't know the background, Big Meech, whose real name is Demetrius Flannery, is the famous creator of the Black Mafia family, which is often called BMF. This group was once one of the most powerful and well-known crime groups in American history. Back in the 1990s and early 2000s, BMF built a huge operation that made an enormous amount of money from illegal activities. They also cleaned millions of dollars by running a music company.
Eventually have to have a bond hearing. There were cameras everywhere. It was a scene.
Their strong connection to the hip-hop world made them a very powerful group. Big Meech's name became linked with ideas of strength, respect, and fear, both in his own neighborhood and in the entertainment industry. But that powerful group fell apart in 2008 when Big Meech was sent to federal prison for 30 years. He was found guilty for running the BMF organization all across the country. This court case ended one period of time, but it also created the situation for the fights over control and the feelings of betrayal that we are now seeing happen in public between people who used to be friends and family. Even after he went to prison, Big Meech's influence on music and culture never really went away. People in hip-hop continued to talk about him and remember his name. His story became even more famous when a popular television series called BMF was released. This show was produced by 50 Cent, and it turned the real-life story of the Black Mafia family's rise and fall into a dramatic TV show. This made their story a very important part of the culture and introduced it to a whole new generation of young people. To make the show feel even more real, Big Meech's own son, Lil Meech, was chosen to play the part of his father on television. This decision helped to make the family name a permanent part of entertainment history and kept their story in the public's mind. Now, in the present day, Big Meech has finally been released from prison and has come back home. But instead of a calm and happy return, his name is once again in the middle of arguments and disagreement. Old problems and hard feelings between people have come back to the surface. The long-running fight between 50 Cent, Big Meech, and Lil Meech is now getting much worse and is happening out in the open. 50 Cent, who is famous for being very aggressive in his fights and for never giving up, has been openly criticizing both the father and the son. His problems with them started years ago, but the situation became much more intense when Big Meech was photographed spending time with Rick Ross, who is one of 50 Cent's most famous and longtime rivals.
The brothers were indicted in a federal RICO case originating out of Georgia.
BMF was the first group that was accused of being both a criminal organization and
Have somebody that's been shot and has been the victim of aggravated assault. I mean, he received a serious gunshot wound. That really appears...
Seeing that new friendship was the final straw for 50 Cent. What had started as quiet, subtle insults quickly turned into a full-blown public fight. This situation led to one of 50's most shocking actions yet. He directly called Big Meech a snitch. This accusation surprised a lot of people, mostly because Big Meech had always been known as someone who was tough and stayed loyal with a strong reputation in his community. The whole problem began when the rapper Rick Ross posted online about a concert to welcome Big Meech home. In response, 50 Cent posted a picture of a rat on his own Instagram page. This was his way of making his opinion perfectly clear about Big Meech, and it started up a big argument that just will not go away. What 50 Cent is talking about is much more serious than a normal disagreement between rappers. It goes right to the center of Big Meech's good name and the story of his life. According to several news reports, Big Meech did not get out of prison early just for acting well or because of clever legal work. The rumors suggest that he was linked to a woman named Tammy Cowens, who was known to be a secret informant for the government. The stories say she may have helped him get a shorter prison sentence. People with information said that Tammy gave the police important details about other people who were part of the BMF organization. This act of possibly helping the authorities might have been the reason Big Meech did not have to serve his full prison time. These rumors became even stronger when a former member of BMF named Blue Da Vinci spoke publicly. He stated that Big Meech had definitely worked with the police. This was a huge and explosive claim that upset many people in their community. For 50 Cent, this news was all the proof he felt he needed. He did not wait a second to repeat these claims, using his large social media presence to call out Big Meech and make people doubt everything they thought they knew about him. The most important thing people believed was that he would never cooperate with the police. The response from people in their communities was instant and very strong. The entire story of Big Meech's life was built on the ideas of being loyal to his friends and never speaking to the authorities. These were the rules that made him who he was, and they defined his image in both the world of crime and in hip-hop culture.
Sure.
Who told you you was special? You thought you was special.
For many people who always thought of Big Meech as a strong and unbreakable leader, hearing that he might have given information to the police felt like a huge betrayal. For some of his supporters, this news was not just a little damaging, it was completely devastating. Of course, his son Lil Meech was not going to just sit back and do nothing while his father's good name was being torn apart in public. He was filled with anger over 50 Cent's comments, so he went on social media to call 50 Cent out directly. He accused 50 of showing disrespect to his family and of purposely trying to ruin the story of the BMF. But Lil Meech did not stop there. He decided to share private text messages that he and 50 Cent had sent to each other. This gave everyone a look at the secret problems between them that most people did not know about. In those text messages, Lil Meech confronted 50 for removing him as a friend on Instagram. He also pointed out that 50 had begun to manage a new artist named Skillabee along with a manager named Rocket. The important thing was that Lil Meech was the one who had first introduced Skillabee to 50 Cent back when the artist was still unknown. To many people who saw them, these texts showed that the problem was much bigger than just public name-calling. They revealed that the relationship between Lil Meech and 50 Cent was badly broken. This made people suspect that 50 Cent's reasons for the fight were not really about telling the truth, but about wanting to take control of the BMF brand and its entire story. In those private messages that got out, Lil Meech showed everyone just how much 50 Cent's recent actions had hurt him. He let out all his feelings about the situation, saying he was shocked to find out that 50 had stopped following him on Instagram. He was also upset that 50 was now managing the artist Skillabee with Rocket, remembering that he was the one who personally introduced them when no one else even knew who Skillabee was. For Lil Meech, this problem was about much more than just business deals. For him, it was really about loyalty, trust, and the close friendship he thought the two of them had built together.
February 13th, the Big Meech benefit concert. It's gonna be iconic. Yeah. So look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film.
Lil Meech tried to explain his side of the story, focusing on how loyal he had always been to 50 Cent. He said he would have done anything for him, using the phrase that he would have given him the shirt off his own back to show how deep his friendship went. He strongly pushed back against the popular story that he was the one who had betrayed 50, insisting over and over that he had stayed completely loyal through everything. He felt that the real story of their relationship was being twisted and changed beyond recognition by people who didn't know the truth. The biggest surprise for everyone came when Lil Meech decided to talk about the meeting between his father and 50 Cent's longtime rival Rick Ross. He explained that this wasn't about his father choosing a side in the old feud between Ross and 50. Instead, he admitted it was strictly a financial decision. He was honest about the fact that his family needed help, revealing that Rick Ross had given his father money to cover basic living expenses and to help them stay stable while they waited for the next season of their TV show to start production. However, this honest explanation did not make 50 Cent change his mind or back down at all. In fact, he reacted in the complete opposite way. He doubled down on his attacks by making fun of Lil Meech online for everyone to see. He posted a mocking message that made a joke out of Lil Meech's comments about the show's next season, writing, "What next season, little ninja?" This comment was widely understood as a clear and direct threat. He was hinting that he had the power to cancel the show completely or to fire Lil Meech and recast his role whenever he wanted. It was a powerful and public reminder that 50 Cent is the one in control of the very TV show that made Lil Meech a star, and he wasn't afraid to use that power. The situation got even more intense when the major, welcome back concert plan for Big Meech was suddenly canceled. Almost immediately, people started pointing fingers at 50 Cent, suspecting he was the one who had something to do with it. 50 Cent did very little to stop these rumors from spreading. Instead, he seemed to add fuel to the fire by posting a fake, AI-generated video that made fun of both Big Meech and Lil Meech, portraying them in a silly and embarrassing light. When fans and critics directly accused him of sabotaging the concert, he denied it, but he did so with a sarcastic message that sounded much more like a taunt or a joke than a real and sincere denial. This entire public fight has split opinions online right down the middle. Some people watching the drama unfold think that 50 Cent has gone too far and is being a bully. Meanwhile, other people believe that Lil Meech is simply a young man caught in the middle of a huge and complicated battle that started between older, more powerful figures long before he was even involved. Behind the scenes, people in the industry are saying this is much more serious than just social media drama. It is a real power struggle that will decide the future of the entire BMF brand. There are now strong rumors that 50 Cent is quietly making plans to move forward with new BMF projects without the involvement of either Big Meech or Lil Meech. This major shift could mean a complete creative overhaul of the popular TV series, introducing new characters, new storylines, and possibly even a brand new lead actor. If this happens, it would effectively push the real family out of telling their own story, stripping them of the influence and control they once had over their own legacy. At the same time, the public's opinion is also starting to change significantly. Big Meech, who was once seen by many as a symbol of street loyalty and strength, is now facing a lot of criticism and doubt from people who used to support him. At the same time, Lil Meech's brave attempts to defend his father's reputation are now being seen by some as the desperate moves of a son who is stuck in a nearly impossible position, torn between family loyalty and his own survival in the business. 50 Cent, watching all of this, seems to believe that he doesn't even need to fight directly anymore because the many problems and arguments within the BMF story are causing so much damage on their own. The big looming question now is whether Big Meech and his son can possibly rebuild and save what is left of their family story, or if this very public and painful fight marks the beginning of the end for their once powerful legacy.